Question for you. Do you feel stuck in life? Do you feel as though right now you're not where you want to be? You're in the same exact place you were last year, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and you're just not progressing the way that you want to progress. If that's the case, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I believe you're stuck and some guidance on how to get unstuck. I remember I had a coach some years ago, 10 years ago or so now, and just small talk. How people meet each other and greet each other to say, hey, yeah, how things going? And everybody says the same thing. Same old, right? So he asked me, how things going? I'm like, same old, same old. And I just think I'm doing the right thing, making some small talk. And he just looked at me and said, huh? Same old, huh? You think that's a good thing? I'm over here, I don't think anything of it, right? He's like, you think that's a good thing? He's like, if things are the same old, that means you're not growing. That means you're not progressing. So next time somebody asks you how you're doing, I challenge you not to say same old, same old. I challenge you to give them an answer that demonstrates you are working hard to grow. All right, let's dive right into this. Okay, I'm going to hit my record button here. And while I'm doing this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like the content that I deliver. If you haven't seen the content that I deliver, hit that subscribe button. And if you don't like the content I deliver, guess what I'm going to ask you to do? Hit that subscribe button anyways. All right, I got my screen recording here. I'm going to take some notes. And remember, always try to keep your own notes, take your own notes. I'm going to write some stuff down here on the screen just to keep you engaged so you can see what I'm writing. However, have your own notes because this stuff is true, can truly help you grow and get to the next levels that you're trying to get to. All right, so I'm going to say why you're stuck. I'm not going to leave it at that now. Let's say, and how to get unstuck, because that's what you really want to know, right? And we've all been stuck, right? So I've been stuck. Everybody's been stuck. A big part of this stuff is a lot of just mindset. Okay, so I initially had these as 2 different ones, but I combined them. So the first reason so many people are stuck, the first reason is this, and you will easily pick up on this one, is you're choosing comforts over impact. Comfort over impact. Initially, I had this broken down into 2 things. I said they're choosing security over prosperity, but I scratched that because I know when people hear this word prosperity, it can go haywire, right? So I am not preaching any sort of prosperity gospel or anything of that sort, okay? At least not in the sense that a lot of people will think about it, right? But you're choosing comfort over impact. Comfort over impact, right? Let's take a step back to that whole security thing. Just think about the way we do things here in society, at least in America, right? America is very, very good at programming kids, right? We're very good at programming even adults, whatever, but from a very early age, we all do it. I do it with my kids, right? Not intentionally, but part of programming is intentional, but because you want your kids to be orderly and be able to function in society. However, just think about it from a very, very early age. Kid steps out of line, get back in line. Right, a kid gets up from their desk and goes to look outside of the window. Sit back down, right? A kid really, really wants a piece of candy. You can't have to have vegetables, right? We are always constantly on these kids, and we're constantly, punishing or not punishing. I don't like to use the word punish because there's a difference between punish and discipline. But I'll say we're constantly disciplining these kids and trying to get them in line, right, and reprimanding them, right? And so eventually, what the kids look for is they look for security. Look for security. They don't want to be punished. They don't want to be disciplined. They don't want to be reprimanded. So they do the same thing, right? They avoid, I'm going to say avoid drama because really that's what's going on. Avoid drama and do the same thing. And so this programming happens from a very, very young age to do the same thing, do the same thing, do the same thing. What does this translate into as these kids get older, go into adolescence, go into adulthood? It means, you're doing save jobs. Save jobs. And when I'm talking about getting unstuck, a lot of what I'm talking about today is about, your jobs and your life goals, right? You do save jobs, right? So what does that mean? That means I'm getting paycheck to paycheck. I'm good. I am good. Paycheck to paycheck. As long as it's coming in, I'm good. I'm going to stay here. And eventually you're scared to leave. Scared to leave. And it's understandable, right? Because you think I've put in so many years. I've got a pension plan. I've got a retirement plan. I've got a 401k. I've got a TSP, whatever it is that you have for your retirement, or 403b, I think is one of them. Whatever it is you have for your retirement, you feel so safe and so secure in that. You're like, man, I can't go take a leap to do the thing that I really, really want to do because I need this security. I've got a wife. I've got kids. Look, the first thing I'm going to tell you is don't do anything crazy, right? Or you must say, I've got a husband. Let me make sure I'm bouncing it out. Don't do anything crazy. Don't just get up and leave and jump and say, I'm chasing my dream. I'm not even going to think about what could happen, the implications. I'm not even going to think about how much money's in the bank. No, you have to be wise and make good decisions. However, you cannot, I got to write this one down. So you can't find security in other people. And what do I mean by that? I mean, we've all heard the stories about people who've put tons of money, they built up these big pensions, and everything crashes and they lose all their money. Think about Enron, right? Those of you who remember Enron, one of the biggest businesses, back in the day, right, out of Houston, huge business. They were doing a lot of fraud stuff, a lot of scandalous stuff. So all these people who've been working hard for all these years lost their retirement. They were trusting in Enron. They were trusting in other people, and they lost all that money. They thought they had security. And that, guess what? The only place you can truly find security is in God. The only place you can truly, truly, truly find security is in God. So stop putting that security. Stop thinking, oh, I'm going to do things the safe way. I'm going to stay here, and being put in the jail because you think these people have your back all the way through. Some might have your back, some might not. Even if they have your back, some things are just out of their control, right? I talk, and talk about getting unstuck. Security comes from God. You have to understand, security comes from God. Matthew 6:33, right? Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be given unto you, right? Seek ye first the kingdom of God, right? So as long as you were seeking God first, it says these things will be given unto you. That's not saying God's going to give you all the desires of your heart and all those things. God's going to take care of you, right? God is going to take care of you. How he does it exactly is not for me to say, but God will take care of you. And that's the best bet you have in life. So find your security in God. And so that's all comfort. That's security. But what you got to realize also is, I said, remember, comfort over impact. So have you ever considered this fact that you are living a selfish life? Have you ever considered the fact that you are being selfish with your life? You are so focused on making sure you're comfortable, you're secure, that you and your family have. Have you ever asked yourself this question? What if God has you here to do more than just look out for you, and God has you here for a plan to have a huge impact on the world or other people's lives? Impact. What is your impact? If you live life from a perspective of focusing on impacts, okay, what kind of impacts can I have? How can I serve other people? Live life with more attention to other people's needs and wants and helping them. You will not be stuck. You will be progressing throughout life for all your days, is what I believe. For all your days, right? Impact. Focus on others. This is a huge key to get unstuck, right? You focus on others, you can get unstuck. Because when you focus on others and their needs, then you can't really be comfortable. There's no comfort in that all the time. I mean, there's comfort in it, but you're not going to stay in a place of just comfort, because you're going to be pushing yourself to limit to help other people or to even do great things. I think about, Tyler Perry, and I don't know, some people like him, some people don't. That's neither here nor there. But I think about this guy. This man was hustling and grinding while, as I understand it, living in a car. So essentially homeless, hustling and grinding, trying to get his film career going, trying to get it on and popping, right? Trying to achieve his dreams, but also trying to do things that could impact the world, right? Look at the films, look at the messages, a lot of things, charities and stuff that he does, doing things that could impact the world, thinking beyond just himself. He could have said, man, I'm stuck, I'm broke in my car. Let me go get a job at something that's easy for me to do, and just be safe and secure in that. But he said, no, I see a bigger impact for the world. I'm going to chase that impact for the world. Right. Hope you're getting what I'm giving, man. I hope you are getting what I'm giving. So that's the first one. Getting unstuck, right? You look at one of my favorite Bible verses. I signed a lot of my emails with this Bible verse, Luke 12:48. To whom much is given, much is required of, or much is expected. I don't have the verbatim word right now, but Luke 12:48. To whom much is given, much is expected of, right? So what is that saying? That's saying, hey, and all of us have been given a lot. That's what I believe. We've all been given a lot. That's saying, hey, God is giving you certain things, certain gifts, certain talents, certain resources, right? We're expecting something out of that. We're not expecting you just to chill and say, oh, I got these. I'm going to hug on to them real tight. I'm going to go high. Nah, if you've been given all these gifts, we're expecting you to give us a return on investment. We're expecting you to take what God has given you, go out there and again, make an impact on this world. Don't just be safe and secure and say, I'm good. I'm going to just chill. No, take those gifts, go make an impact on this world in a godly manner. So that's the first thing, comfort over impact, right? The second reason why so many people are stuck, and some of y'all going to resonate with this right here, is because you're in the wrong environments. Wrong environments, right? I was thinking about this the other day. I saw this somewhere. Imagine you've got this seed, right? You're so excited. You heard it's a beautiful, beautiful plant, right? They tell you it's going to be a palm tree or something like that, right? And you go in there and you put it down on the ground, you plant it, and you're just waiting. Oh, I'm going to be so excited. I'm going to have my own little palm tree out here. It's going to grow. I'm going to put a bunch of them. I'm going to get my little beach chair and sit under them and just relax. I'm going to be in paradise. And you plant more, you're getting excited. But they're just not growing. You've seen them around, so you know they work, right? You've seen them across the world in a magazine, so you know it's there, but it's just not growing. And someone comes up to you and say, "Man, what are you doing planting these things? It's not going to work." You're like, "Why not? This is Alaska. Palm trees don't grow out here." You had something special. You had something beautiful. You had something that could bring you so much joy and get you the things you want, but you were in the wrong environment. You can't plant a palm tree in Alaska. You can, but you're probably not going to get the same results as if you do it in Cali. You have to be in the right environments to get the things that you want, the things that you are looking for, right? I remember I heard somebody say this some while back. They were like, just take a first class trip, right? I would always fly coach, and I would always complain and not complain, but I would, I don't want to say criticize, but I'll be like, why does people spend all this money flying first class? Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Somebody's like, take a first class trip, see what it feels like. They're like, I guarantee if you take that first class trip, see what it feels like, you're not going to want to go back and sit in other seats, right? So I do a lot of public speaking, right? So I changed my contract. So whenever I speak now, the certain amount of money, fly first class, right? It's part of the thing. I did it that first time. And boy, I tell you, that environment was different, right? And I'm saying good thing, no bad thing. I don't know. You take it as you want to take it, right? And say Dr. Dale's bougie or whatever. I don't, that Dr. Dale's not bougie. Trust me, I don't spend money, right? There's certain things whenever I go to speak, and I'll tell you why I do it here as I'm talking right here. But I sat in first class for that, that first time. I was like, oh, this is nice. This is nice. It makes it hard to go back to a regular economy seat. Not that there's anything wrong with economy seats. I still fly economy too, right? But I'm just saying that first class is a different environment. You feel a certain way. Not that you're better than everybody else, but that you have value, right? That's a horrible thing for me to say because you have value no matter what. But I'm just telling you the truth, how I felt in this whole situation here, that you have value, right? And what it does is, for me, what it did is it kind of boosted my confidence. It made me feel like I belong on stage. I can demand these prices that I'm demanding, right? And it got me game ready to speak. So I told you, I'll tell you why I do it now. I fly first class, right? Because it gets me game ready. When I'm flying out of town to a different state, right? I want everything to be nice, smooth, easy. I want to be mentally ready, right? And I want to be game ready to hit that stage with excitement and feel the value of what they're paying me, because they pay me now. I want to feel the value of what they're paying me. Meaning I want to come in, I want to deliver, I want to execute for them. I want to make sure I make whoever's bringing me out to speak, I want to make them look good by delivering. And being in that first class environment from the airplane to, getting picked up by, by car services and things like that. So have everything planned out. Just being in that environment of, hey, they care about me, I'm taken care of, allows me to come deliver and execute. Right. The environment matters. Environment matters. I've got my Bible here, right? And I was looking this up when I was preparing for you while I was studying. And Genesis 12, I want to read this one to you guys verbatim. So I'm not wearing my glasses here. Turn into an old man. Give me a second. Genesis 12, we're talking about Abraham in here, right? So this is Genesis 12, and just simple Genesis 12, 1 through 2. And here's what it says. The Lord said to Abram, this is Abram before he became Abraham, before God changed his name. The Lord said to Abram, go out from your land, your relatives, and your father's house to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. Right. I'm gonna read it again. The Lord said to Abram, and this is on the lines of what I want you to understand as I'm reading it is you have to be in the right environment. And being in the right environment means sometimes leaving your comfort zone to achieve great things, to get unstuck. So here's Abram. He's been living in this land, right? And Abram they say he was rich, man. They say he had a lot of stuff. If you listen in the Bible, you see all the stuff he was over, right? How much people were there kind of working, quote unquote, for him or with him in his community. He was over all these people, quote unquote, over all these people, how much livestock resources he had, right? So Abram was in a place where he could have said, hey, pretty comfortable here. But this is what it says, Genesis 12:1. The Lord said to Abram, go out from your land, your relatives, go out, leave. Go out from your land, your relatives, and your father's house to the land I will show you. The land I will show you. I've got something else planned for you, okay? So go out, leave, get out here to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you. I will curse those who treat you with contempt, and all the peoples on earth will be blessed through you. So all the peoples on earth will be blessed through you. I think we're people on earth. So think about that. Abram's been in this environment. God's saying, hey, I want you to leave this environment, go to a different environment, and I'm going to bless you. I believe that's just the way it is in life sometimes. God will see us in a certain environment, and God will say, okay, Dale, it's time for you to leave this environment, move to a different environment. There's something there waiting for you. What that is, I don't know. I can't predict. I can't tell you what that is for you. But all I can tell you is sometimes to get unstuck, you need to leave the environment that you were in and believe that God's got a blessing for you in that other environment that's out there. Spend time in prayer, spend time in the Bible, right? Spend time really trying to think these things through, really trying to communicate, have a relationship with God, not saying anything, like creepy, like trying to do seances. I'm not down with that stuff, okay? But I'm just saying spend time really trying to be in a relationship with God and gain clarity around the environment that you should be in, because I didn't even write much for environment, but I'm going to tell you here, environment matters. It matters like crazy. Your environment matters, right? Great example here. I just gave you Abram, which of course is probably better example, but right here, LeBron James, right? Everybody known him, and I met him when I was 18 years old. He signed a basketball, all that jazz, right? So I was super excited. So I want to use him as my example here. Okay, he doesn't know who I am, so it's like LeBron's not my guy. I'm just saying I respect what he's done on the court, like crazy. The man, he's held it down, right? So LeBron James, Akron, Ohio, superstar. Everybody knows him. Gets drafted to Cleveland, right? It's like the perfect story. Comes back, stays home, gets to do other things. He's, playing well, going to playoffs and everything like that. He's playing. You're like, oh, he's going to get us a championship. He's going to get us a championship. But he couldn't get over that hump. He could not get over that hump to get that championship. He was in this environment. Akron's where he grew up at. Akron, Cleveland, the area he grew up at. So what did he do? He left the environment. He left his hometown. He left where he was comfortable. He'd been there his whole entire life. He left Akron, Cleveland area. He left his environment to go to Miami, a different environment where there were other things there. Just like I told you with Abram, there were some blessings there. I believe these are blessings. Went there. He said, you know what? Come over here. Come to this environment in Miami. Come to the Miami Heat environment, right? Come to the environment where we're running a lot. We're eating right. We're in the weight room. We're in the gym practicing a lot, right? We're watching film with Spoelstra. Come to this environment. This is where you belong. And when you come to this environment, you can see these blessings happen. And that's what happened. He had to get out of the Cleveland environment into a different environment where things were there. They were waiting for him. These things have been prepared all these years. And as soon as he stepped into that environment, he was elevated. He was lifted to a different level in basketball. All right. He got his championships there. And after that, he was able to then leave that environment and go back. The story doesn't end there. He went back to Cleveland and got them some rings. Right. So sometimes you just have to leave that environment to get the things that you want, that you're looking for in life. And the third reason why you might be stuck, why we get stuck, is because we don't humble ourselves, right? We have to humble ourselves. Some of y'all might be watching this and be like, I ain't stuck. Right. I'll tell you, a lot of us get stuck. I get stuck. We have to humble ourselves and realize that we don't have all the answers. We don't know everything. And ask for help. People in this world are so stuck because they think they know everything and they don't want to ask for help. Don't be that person who thinks they know everything and doesn't want to ask for help. I'll tell you, I got no issues asking for help. Hey, yo, how do I do this? How do I do that? Are you free? Can we go grab a bite? I want to learn how to do this, right? I'm not saying to mooch and not doing my work. I'm asking for guidance, and I want to go out there and I want to execute on that guidance and make you proud that you decided to help me, right? But you have to be humble enough to say, hey, I don't know everything. I can't do it all by myself. Let me find the mentor. Let me pay a coach. Something about that. People criticizing the coaching industry and say, "Oh, this coaching world." Look, coaching, in my opinion, is the way of the future. Let me show you something. This how education. My pen's going out on me here. Let me get my pen back up. This is how education has been, right? So these are the students. All these little dots. Think about when I was growing up. Those are the students. That's the teacher. Whole bunch of students, teacher there, right? That's like me when I grew up in school, right? You're talking 30 kids in the class, whatever, one teacher, right? Over the time, education's people looking for this, people want to see something more like this. Students to teacher ratio, right? And what it's coming down to now is if you can get this, it's just like ideal situation, right? And I bring this up because I see people criticizing, excuse me, I see people criticizing coaching and things of that sort. The coaching infrastructure that's emerging, right? And I coach, so maybe I'm biased on this. However, this is just the way it is going to be, I believe, in my opinion. I think this is the way of the future because technology is advancing so fast. As humans, we are learning so many things so fast. The big infrastructural systems that were going on this, all these students to one, those are going to be way too slow to keep up, right? So the way you learn things faster now is you go find one person who knows it. They can sit down and give you their undivided attention and help you get there, right? And I do that. I pay coaches to coach me, right? I'm humble enough, at least I like to think that I am, at least in this perspective, to ask for help and to pay somebody for help, right? If you're going to give me good value, I'm willing to pay you for it. As long as I believe it's going to give me back a return. And over the years, I've paid for a lot of coaches. And I've gotten a lot of returns. Michael Jordan, I say this all the time. Michael Jordan, arguably the best player in the world. If you disagree, if you want to say Kobe, LeBron, same story for all of them. They all have paid trainers. I mean, goodness, Michael Jordan was paying, I believe, as I understand the story, paying Tim Grover to not train other people. He wanted him for himself, right? They pay people for this. And whether or not you pay people or not, that's not the point of making. But the point of making is humble yourself and find somebody that can help you. If it's free, that's great. Just make sure they're giving you, high value information, right? Yeah, find somebody who can help you. Humble yourself. I wanted to go to Second Chronicles here. I just pulled up, and I'm talking about humbling yourself and asking people. But the biggest thing is humble yourselves in front of God, right? Humble yourselves in front of God, and above asking me anything, I am nothing, right? Dale is nothing. Dale is nothing. But before asking me anything, ask God because God is everything. Okay, so let me find this verse here. So this is the second Chronicles 7, and I'll read a couple. I'll start at 12, right? Let me restructure myself so I can see better. So Second Chronicles, and it starts with chapter 7, verse 12. And so this is God and Solomon here. It says, Then the Lord appeared to Solomon at night and said to him, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place for myself as a temple of sacrifice. If I close the sky so there is no rain, or if I command the grasshopper to consume the land, or if I send pestilence on my people, listen to this right here, 2 Chronicles 7:14. And my people who are called by my name humble themselves, pray and seek my face, and turn from their evil ways, then I will hear from heaven, then I will hear from heaven. But I'm going to read that again. And my people who are called by my name humble themselves. I know he's talking here, he's talking to Solomon. I believe this is, more perhaps about Israel, but I like to think that I'm part of God's people, that God cares about me too. Humble themselves, pray and seek my face, and turn from the evil ways, that I will hear from heaven, forgive their sin, and heal their land. My eyes will now be open and my ears attentive to prayer from this place. Do you hear that? This verse, God is telling Solomon, hey, my people will humble themselves. If they humble themselves, if they're willing to listen, I'm going to hear. Also notice another key thing. So God is telling Solomon basically, I know what situation you're in. I allowed the situation to happen, right? I know what situation you're in. I allowed it to happen. But here's the deal. If you humble yourselves and turn to me, I can help you. So if you want to get unstuck, this is the key. Humble yourselves. Turn to God. God can help you get unstuck. So let's do a quick recap here, okay? And there's a lot more reasons than this. I just wanted to, and I've spent some time the past few days thinking about which ones to give you guys, because I feel as though these are very poignant and these are so common amongst so many people. And I've struggled with some of this in my own life. So I felt the need to give these to you guys. Okay. So number one, people choosing comfort over impact. And I'm going to ask you this question. When you're thinking about, am I stuck because I'm choosing comfort over impact? Ask yourself this question. Am I being selfish? Am I acting like my life is just for me, or do I take the time to appreciate the possible impacts God might want me to have? Number two, wrong environment. Don't plant that palm tree in Alaska and expect to get a nice tree, right? Don't put it in Alaska. It's not going to work. You got to be in the right environment. LeBron had to leave Cleveland. Then he went back to Cleveland. Okay. But LeBron had to leave Cleveland to get in the right environment to take him to where he wanted to get to. Then he went back and brought the blessings with him. Okay. So just because you leave doesn't mean you can't come back and bring the blessings with you. And number three, which I believe is the most important, is humble yourself, and specifically humble yourself before God. Communicate, relationship, pray. Gain clarity on how you can get unstuck to get the next path for your life, but humble yourself. Ask for help, right? It's so easy to get to that next level if you just humble yourself and ask somebody, hey, how did you do it? They can tell you how to do it. You can take those steps. All right, fam. Hey, let's make this a time of focus on progress, right? We're focusing on progress. These next few months, I really want you to focus and ask yourself, okay, am I stuck? What can I do to get unstuck? And next time somebody asks you how you're doing, don't just say same old. Say, hey, I'm moving on forward. I'm moving on forward. All right, fam. Hey, I want you to know that I love you. I'm praying for you, and you have permission to be great. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time.